What's up everyone, Blade here, and welcome back to another video of 7 Deadly Sins Origin. Inside today's video, guys, we're going to pick up where we left off in yesterday's video, and that's going to be talking about the weapon options, or at least more of the weaponry and how it does work. So if you guys are interested in this, be sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. As always, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Recently, we've been coming a long way, especially when it does come down to our live content. I've been mixing it up a little bit more. And with our most recent videos for 7 Deadly Sins Origins, honestly, it's been looking pretty decent. I didn't think it would be this all right for how, of course, we're trying to get this on the channel. So I would say thank you guys a lot for all the support so far and your interest in the game. Of course, I'm gonna be covering it all the time, so look forward to that as well. But getting straight into the video. So I went on the 7 Deadly Sins Origin Twitter page once again, doing my little scoping, and we once again started to find out this forum. Now this forum here originally had the growth edition stuff, and I covered a lot of this in yesterday's video, and I mainly stopped it at all the growth stuff for the characters. But the thing I did not stop it at, or at least continue for, was the equipment growth, because it has a lot of things pertaining to. We have, of course, the basic equipment growth type deal, we have weapon enhancements, and we're going to obviously do all of this together. Now, as well, I'm going to try to make these into sub videos to a certain extent, but this is going to cover everything else on this type of forum. And in a future video, I'll actually do like weapon limit break systems and thoroughly talk about it when I have actual footage and be able to explain in more detail while also providing some more gameplay. So look forward to that, but we're going to go ahead and start with the equipment growth section. So checking out the equipment growth section, they immediately say that we're able to equip up to 3 different weapons, which is something that we already know. These weapons obviously are going to be based on their elements, skills they can use, and ultimate moves, which all of them will change based on the weapon that we have equipped. Now that's a cool thing, because it means that all characters not only will probably have their signature weapons, but if you do have a different weapon on them, they can honestly adapt to any situation and have a different ultimate to actually make it look pretty darn cool. Now the good part is the primary weapon itself is giving you 100% of the stats that you have. So your first weapon, that's going to be your main one that you want to make sure is the best weapon for your character, while the other sub weapons that you do have, they still are helping out your stats, but it's going to be 30% of your stats instead of the 100%. By going ahead and doing so, you'll be able to enhance your entire character, which is absolutely amazing. So we're able to see some of the specs here, where we have the primary weapon here being, of course, the weapon prefix Indomitable Guard with weapon type, which is a great sword. And what this gives us is the equipment tech, the main stats, the enhancement bonus, and the passive skill. This is just going to be the thing that you're going to have on your weapon, and this is going to be your primary one. This is in your first slot. You're getting these main things, and that's going to be 100% of the stats, while any other weapon that you end up equipping is going to have that 30%. So for the main option, they do say the passive skill is equipped on the weapon, and they are predetermined by its prefix. So in order to know what the passive skill is going to be, it's going to be based off this prefix. So if you see Indomitable Guard, obviously it's always going to have Iron Defense. The weapons themselves are going to go from grade R weapons, much like in 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross, all the way to like SR, well, SR, SSR, and it will come with different passive skills attached to them. The weapon specs down here, they're able to tell you exactly how they do work here. Enhancements are mainly going to be the equipment's attack as well as main bonus here. And you're going to need to go ahead and use weapon enhancement stones just for the weapon itself, as well as just having the weapon. But later on down the line, you can see that it gradually does change for the tier up, going to a max level of 50. This will have another weapon upgrade stone that you're going to need, and an ingot that are going to be materials that you're going to have to find. Then, of course, we have the enhancement bonuses that go 1 through 4. They will all give you additional stats based on the probability, kind of like artifact cards, if we would think of it that way. I hope these aren't like heavily randomized. I hope they're kind of like Grand Cross that are pretty easy to reroll, but in today's age, they're probably going to be a little hard to reroll. But these stats are going to be based on probability, and then we're going to have a spell bead that will be used to actually making these stats better. It says common through legend, so I'm guessing if you use a legend one, the probability of certain stats will be higher as well as better, so that's always going to be a good thing to see. And we go over, of course, enhancements, tier levels. They kind of break all that stuff down, but we're not going to really pay too much attention on it. Inside this game, we do have a bunch of weapon types, one of them being a staff, a long sword, a great sword, sword and shield, nunchucks, and then a wand. And then we have a few others down here being gauntlets, rapier, lance, grimoire, well, grimoire. I say grimoire. Jesus, that already gets you there. But a grimoire, dual swords, and an axe. Now, I'm personally interested to trying out the nunchucks as well as trying out the gauntlets and dual swords. You guys can probably understand exactly what character I like to play inside of MMOs. A bunch of edgy type characters here, and honestly, I think those are going to be some cool weapon choices, but it's going to be fun to try at least a couple of them out. Now, alongside with the weapons, instead of just their types, they do have an enhancement system down here, which we can see it goes from common all the way to legend, and then they start having like the dedicated actual attributes. We have legend fire, legend wind, lightning, cold, earth, holy, darkness, and physical. So I would say like the most basic ones are going to be, of course, common through legend, where of course you're going to get some basic stats here that are going to be really nice. But the legend fire all the way to legend physical, those are going to be more specified and specific looking bonuses that most likely you're going to use to really take your character to the next level. Now, they call them spell beads, of course, and you can see that they're going to have 4 bonuses that are randomly going to be generated. Whenever, of course, you perform these said enchantments, you get a spell bead, and it's going to be determined by the probability of each bonus appearing on the slots. So you can either replace them, you can keep them. It honestly just depends on you, which is good because they're not set in stone. It's awesome. Then as we go down, we're looking at the weapon limit break system, where we have the blazing greatsword is one of the weapons that you're able to go ahead and grind on up, and we're able to see that you can limit break it over here. It seems like there is obviously duplicates right here, and I see about 8 whole slots. Well, we got all around 7 whole little dupes here. So kind of interesting to see how this is going to be. I wonder if this is just mainly off of duplicates themselves. It says you don't have to have an identical weapon, so it's just any weapon that falls under that grade, which is pretty darn good to see, because then you don't have to continuously summon for a limited time weapon. There's also crafting that I am kind of interested in as well. I'm not sure if this is mainly going to be for limited weapons, but we can see that they're crafting the Black Shadow Greatsword here, which is going to need a couple different materials. And if we look very closely, this image actually says 0 out of 1 for weekly crafting. So crafting is viable, but whatever weapon you're going to be going ahead and crafting, it says you can do around SSR and SR weapons. You do need to know that you need to be careful with this, because they are going to be on a weekly basis. So you're able to, of course, get these weapons from draws, and you can craft them. You're also able to use fragments from salvage weapons, as they say, for limit breaks. So this game seems like it's going to be pretty nice to you when it does come down to some of the weaponry, but until we get our hands on it, it does look a little interesting to say the least. But going over all of this here, that was the entire thing for the group, the I want to say the upgrading system when it does come down to the weapons, which is fairly nice to see. We're able to at least get a little bit of a better look at it. I wanted to get some footage. When I was looking around, I couldn't find too good of footage that was looking at here. So I'll try to find some more. You guys might get some edited into the game, which will edit it into this video that I'll probably put in throughout it, but that's for future me to kind of decide a little bit more on that. But I'm very interested to see how this game is really going to work out, because the weapon enchantment system, these sound like they're going to be straightforward, but where things are going to look a little bit weird is the legend fire and upwards with these, because the spell beads, I'm unsure if okay, you can get any of these, including these together, or either does it have to be specified weapons that will be able to get maybe one of these, 2 of these, or whatever. But it doesn't seem like they really went to tell us that inside this guide, so we'll have to figure that out on day 1, in which I will try to keep you guys updated. As for anything that you guys have questions for, let me know down below in the comment section. I'll be excited to go ahead and answer those as well. And be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on notification bells. It really does help me out a lot. And if you do have hype points and you're watching this, hype up the video. It's going to help me out. I'm trying my hardest to make sure that this turns out to be a really successful community, especially for the 7DS Origins community themselves. I haven't done 7DS related content in a very long time, so I'm excited to finally get back to some of my roots, and it might be time to switch it up a little bit. Just go ahead and see if we can dive a little bit deeper to this game. But for now, thank you guys for very much so watching, and stay safe, stay sharp. Peace out.